turn to her and I'm just like, he was too heavy. I tried to pull him up and I just couldn't. He slipped right out of my hands.
She she passes her hand in front of her face and then pinches her nose and she says, "All right. If what Mr. Barboza had to say was correct, then there's an elevator nearby to the surface. We can get out of this hellhole and back to civilization. 100 thrown gelt to whichever one of you finds it first. I am tired of being here." What do you do?
I light an EO stick.
I don't react at all. I'm still mourning the death of Barbosa.
Come on, everyone, follow me. We'll mourn the feller when we are clear. Let's get out of here.
Okay. So down at the end of this clear space, there's like two rockcrete walls on each side. Now they've sort of been what do we call it? Fractured. They've been fractured. Nothing big enough for you to crawl through, but like there's dust filtering down from the ceiling. A number of the random lights and stuff that are sort of hooked up places with exposed wires coming to them. They're sort of flickering and swaying and swinging. You think you smell smoke behind you? Oh, we gotta turn our cameras back on. There we go.
Cool.
So down at the end of this hallway, there was a T intersection before, but now it looks like it dead ends in this statue. There's just massive amounts of rock and girders and steel and rubble that have collapsed down on both the right and the left of this T intersection. Let me describe what you see when you're looking at this guy.
The statue?
Yeah. He is a proud... It's a tech statue, right? So it's like... It's constructed out of metal. There's obviously technological components built into his side, into the pedestal that he's standing on. He's a proud and noble-looking scholar. He's young, but he's missing his left arm. Like, there's actually a fold in the cloth of the cloak that he's wearing, showing that his arm is missing. He's seated, and there appears to be dried bloodstains all over the flowing of the robes in his lap. And there's a number of panels and wires that are crisscrossing on his chest. Give us a roll on common lore, Jax.
I remember everything.
Ooh, dang. What is your common lore of the Imperium?
Well,
stat?
it's just checkmarked. I have it.
That means you get your full intelligence score to use it. 39, 15.
It's got 34 intelligence.
That's 2 degrees of
39
success.
intelligence.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, Jax, this is Saint Samson. And he was credited with rectifying the Imperial Creed on a number of planets in the Hazeroth Abyss, which is the local stellar system that we are in on Samson 4. And that was in circa 743 of Millennium 37. He was known for his harsh penalties on the unbelievers, and also his non-standard belief in the power of willingly spilled blood. Does anybody have like? Does anybody
have forbidden lore
of cults?
Well, technically, when I looked under forbidden lore, it looked like it just covered everything. So I'm not sure exactly how that works.
Let me take a look.
Because underneath forbidden lore, then it has all the subsections.
I think those are subsections. You choose one of those.
Well, let me double check. This one. Yeah, just this one's fine.
102.
F.
It's on 102.
Forbidden lore. Yeah, so this is like the skill group is the Black Library, cults, demonology, heresy, inquisition. So which skill group do you have on your sheet?
Let me double check, because I might have just taken forbidden lore without actually designated anything. Oh, warp. Is there a warp? Yes.
Forbidden lore of the warp.
Yeah.
Okay. So unfortunately, you don't have any specific knowledge about this guy.
Well, fuck. I don't know shit.
All right, so we all just kind of look at it. I explain to them who that is as a saint, and does it look like it's, like you say, it's got wiring on it and stuff? Like, does this wiring seem to be through segmented joints on this structure? Does it look like it can move around, or is it just a...
Give me a perception test.
This is funny. I'm perceiving if I can see joints on it. Well,
Oh my!
What is
my
with you?
God.
Steven, I see its past. I see its future. I know everything.
How, dude,
At this
that's
point, I just
Jax
toss down my
Romulus.
equipment and leave the Tech Priest Brotherhood.
I
I just
actually
can't be bothered anymore. What's
I
the point?
fold my legs and I levitate up as the hair on my body falls off,
Holy
and
shit.
I just start glowing. So
You
go
just
ahead.
know.
Yeah.
You look at it and you know. Yeah. So you look at the edges of this guy, and it's very clear that there are, to your eyes, it's very clear that there are joins at the back of this statue. From looking pretty closely, you know, you blow some dust out of some of the cracks, take out your knife, and scrape out a little bit of extra junk in there. It looks like there are mechanisms in there that, if they were activated, then this statue would actually move out. You look on the ground around him, you see that there's actually a couple of score lines that had been scraped into the concrete surface of the floor, but they filled with dust, so they weren't immediately apparent to anyone else. But your keen eye, Jax, you knew to look for them,
Penis device.
and you found them.
Guys, this is some kind of... This structure can move. It's it might be of some kind of great threat. We should move it along.
I'm looking at Jax, and I'm like, well, could it not be the elevator?
I suppose it's possible. Yeah, I mean, we can check around it.
Why don't we have this?
I guess with my perception, Steven, I feel like I'm entitled to ask you if I would notice it's an elevator.
From studying the statue itself, you can't tell what's behind it, so you don't know if there's an elevator back there, unfortunately.
Help me get behind it, folks. This thing might be concealing something behind it.
Well, it's up against a wall, right? So
Well, I just turned to Engelbart. I'm like, Engelbart, can you make this thing work?
I most likely can. I have advanced tech use and utility mechadendrite, probably. So I will apply the sacred unguents.
okay.
So he farts and a mist comes out.
Gotta do that.
Where are you applying the sacred unguents?
That's a great question.
Are you like
The
looking
most holy
for...
of places, obviously. You
Yes,
wouldn't understand.
absolutely.
You're not a member of the Omnissiah's priesthood.
All right, it's an unknown mystery to the rest of us. We don't really understand what
Indeed. Yes, it's mysticism. You're all very reverent of it. There's a puff of incense around the area, so you can't really see where I'm applying it.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it's probably for the best, because that's forbidden techno heresy. We can't allow you to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially after Eli insulted the Omnissiah. You can't.
That's absolutely true. I mean, Eli insulted the Omnissiah, so it would be terrible to allow him to see any of our mysteries. So we can't allow that.
Yep. All right, let's get that tech use roll from you, Engelbart.
All right. Well, I got plus 20 to this thing, because I have a utility mechadendrite and plus 10 on the tech use anyway.
What could go wrong? You know what I
That's
mean?
based off your intelligence, so you need a 68.
Yep. That's not the command. There you
Ooh,
go.
there we go.
Oh,
Nailed
yeah.
Nailed it.
We're all very nervous.
Whatever it is, it's working.
All right, you apply the sacred unguents in your arcane fashion. You attach the sacred electrodes to the sacred wires. You feed a little bit of sacred charge. You commune with it in binary cant. And this statue, like, there's this sort of air that rushes out from behind the statue. And as you're sort of standing on it, clambered on it, it shudders forward and moves along this track in the ground, opening into a space behind it. And you look inside, and it's this small but ancient Gothic cathedral. And there are these incredibly ornate pillars that rise to the ceiling. There are a couple of beautiful stained glass windows that all seem to depict Saint Simon himself, the gentleman from the statue.
Samson.
Saint Samson. Yes, sorry, Saint Samson.
I know him very well.
Yes, Jax is familiar with Saint Samson.
I've seen him.
And they're all like backlit through this incredibly warm glow. Down in the center, it's this long sort of, it's like shaped like a T, like many classic Gothic cathedrals are. And there's an altar at the other end in the apex of the cathedral. There are 3 women bent down in front of it praying. And they look bulkier than normal. They look pretty...
Oh, Frick's like them.
Like pretty strong women.
And
there's an old man who comes shuffling out from the right. And he shuffles forward and he says, "Ah, my friends, you have gotten through Saint Samson's trials. Please come into the fane of the bloodletter saint."
Yeah, okay. This way, friends.
So are you all entering?
I turn to Phaedrus and I go, "If this is an elevator, I want that throne guild."
His ears sort of perk up when he hears you say that, and he says, "You're looking for an elevator?"
Like, yes, we're trying to go back up. So if there's an elevator here, then yes, we would.
He says, "Well,"
or we want to acquire it.
Are any of you hurt?
I am.
Frix looks like she's down a little bit. Jax looks like she's down a little bit.
Jax does look like she's down a little bit.
Jax
Jeez.
looks like he. Jax is a he.
Jax looks a little soft right now.
Yeah, they both.
Oh,
look a
I'm
little
hard.
soft.
I'm hard as
It looks like someone needs to make him hard.
Indeed.
God damn it. I think only they're hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. The priest turns to Jax and Frix and he says, "Ah, but you are wounded. Please allow me to dress your wounds, and then I will lead you to the elevator in the depths of the fane, and it will get you back into the surface of the hive."
I accept that.
Yeah.
Okay. He leads you over towards the altar. And there's like a little basin of water that's standing on a plinth next to the altar. And he pulls out a couple of very white, clean cloths, and he dips them in the water and begins blessing them. He starts reciting litanies of the ecclesiarchy, praise for the emperor, reverence for his holy immortal name, prayers of thanks for the Astronomicon, which guides us all in our daily life, etc., etc. And then he goes on and he breaks away into praise for Saint Samson and his work in cleansing the Hazaroth Abyss. Finally, he seems like he's cleansed these enough, and he fastens these blessed bandages around your wounds. He turns to lead you away, and the 3 women who are kneeling at the altar stand up. And one of them turns towards him, and she says to him, "Father Zarkov, that was beautiful. I believe you were really touched by the Emperor in that moment." And you notice that all 3 of them are wearing incredibly robust armor of the sort that you've probably only ever heard about in whispers. One of them has incredibly short-cropped white hair that ends just above her ears. The second one, so that's the one on the left. The one on the right has long black hair that's pulled back into a bun behind her head. Neither of these women are real beauties, but they also have at their sides vicious-looking weaponry. They have an Astartes pattern bolt pistol each, and an onyx and gilt chainsword.
God.
And the third woman in the middle remains praying for a moment, and then she stands up, and her armor is bright red. And it's like reinforced with like black straps all down it. She also is carrying bolt pistol chainsword. She turns to you and her eyes light up. And she says, well, if it isn't Jax Romulus. And you recognize her, Jax. This is Kalia Rexus, who you danced with at the party.
I was hoping to run into you again.
And I think we should leave it there for the night.
Ooh, yeah,
we're good.
I guess first thing, when are we playing next? Are we going to try to plan this now?
I'd
Sure.
like to plan that now, sure.
I don't know.
Does everyone, what about next Saturday? I mean, we'll just go through the Saturdays.
Can't do that. Casting, 91 show match thingy.
Saturday after that's Christmas. Or
What about Friday?
we can do it Friday maybe. I don't. That's up to TB.
Don't really have time on Friday.
It has to be night as well because Steven works during the day. So
It's true.
we will have to plan that off cast.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do some shout outs here. Why don't you start us off?
Hang on.
What?
Oh.
we gotta do all the
Hang
XP
on.
and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
We got XP.
Let's do some XP.
EXP.
That's right.
All right. So first of all, everyone gets 50 XP for playing.
Yeah, we played.
Way 100 XP.
Does anybody have a bond that they think's been resolved?
Fricks did not be hard this time around.
Fricks is definitely a liability because she fucking healed Cortez when I was trying to kill him.
That's very true.
I mean, I feel like I helped someone with the powers of the warp too. I healed Barbosa. I took out the
that's your
leader.
disposition, right? So you do get
Yeah.
50 XP for fulfilling your disposition.
Okay.
Jax, did you protect anybody weaker than yourself?
Yeah, I think so.
Who was that?
Kind of everybody. What do you just
You were very willing to throw yourself into danger.
yeah.
You did take all that damage, yeah.
That's true. If you think you earned it, I'll give it to you.
I think the collective pieces that I did would equal one, but no one action would be protecting anyone. But I led, I encouraged people to run.
Yep. No, that's very true. All right, I'll give you that. Sounds good. Eli, did you spur anybody to unplanned or decisive action?
I don't think so. Trying to
Okay.
think.
And Engelbart, did you endanger someone living to protect something technological?
No.
I don't think
I
you really had
so.
the opportunity.
Not really.
Yep. Okay. Anybody have any bonds that they think were resolved?
No.
Okay.
Just the Fricks liability one for me. And that's
Let's
it.
see. Fricks is still soft.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you guys are going to have to work that out between yourselves.
I'm trying as hard as I can.
We've got these two bonds that are kind of weird and hard to resolve. One is I know Engelbart's secret and I'm watching him. One is Eli's. Engelbart owes me his life, whether he admits it or not. Next session, we might choose some new bonds based on just the interactions between characters, just to give you guys a little more chance of figuring out some more stuff about each other.
Okay. So then I would need to choose two then, because I finished Fricks' liability on Nassix. She healed Barbosa.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I mean that's totally liability if she's gonna be healing my fucking targets and shit.
Oh, but that means
She didn't
that
know though.
you are reinforcing your belief of that bond.
Okay, that I haven't finished it.
Yeah. So you still think she's a liability, maybe even more so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Things between
to solve
Fritz
that, I
and
have to
Eli.
consider her an asset.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And Engelbart, Jax is still dumb. Eli has still insulted the Omnissiah with no recompense.
Yes. I was kind of passive-aggressively dealing with that. Kind
Engelbart,
of the Facebook way of handling it.
what with these women all carrying bolt pistols, would you like to take this moment to notice that Jax is not carrying his?
That is a fair point.
Yeah.
I would have the time to do that.
Yeah. So I'll let you mark off your bond with Jax.
But he could have just stowed it back in his domicile. I wouldn't know that.
That's very true. Absolutely.
But I might take time to ask him about it in the next session.
For the purpose of this session, so that you can just spin this experience, let's say that at some point in time I conversed with you that I gave it up, I sold it because I was worried about upsetting you. Because that is why I did it.
Why don't we cover that conversation between Engelbart and Jax at the start of next session, and we'll mark it as completed now.
All right.
There,
Works
that's
for me.
fine.
Well, we're gonna fucking forget that in 3 months. So
Steven won't know.
It's all right. We'll write it down in the subreddit, and then people can remind us. It's all good.
Yeah.
There you go.
I've got it there now. All right, awesome. So 3 new things. Did we establish a new alter ego, contact, or confidant?
well, we met these sisters.
yeah.
I don't know if we established.
Well, no, yeah.
I don't think we've established anything. They could still want to kill us.
Yeah. Well, you got
You know
healed
what?
by that father.
Here's the
though.
thing. Here's the thing. They might, but we did establish that the girl that I danced with, beautifully by the way, and probably seduced, was a sister of battle. So
Yeah.
Well, you didn't seduce her if she was a sister of battle. I'll tell you that for a fact.
as far as the way history is working right now, it could be done. It could have been
If
done.
you roll a 1, okay, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I'll give you Kalia, because now that you've run into her a second time, you've established she's a sister of battle. I feel like you can probably pull on her a little bit more in the future. So I'll give you her.
50?
So go ahead and get your plus 50 XP for that.
Or she can pull on me, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Did we discover an important new clue in our investigation?
Absolutely. We determined that guy is
Past us, yeah.
gave us the dirty key, was actually leading a group to kill us now. So
Yeah. Was that a clue, though?
yeah,
He was definitely a threat to the Imperium, so you definitely get that.
we weren't really talking about him beforehand, but that's going to become like a key interest in our
All right. Yep. Absolutely. I'll give you that.
investigation.
So, all told, you earn 150 points for those 3 questions. So,
Do I get
I
anything
think all
for-
of you are getting 50 points, except for the 2 of you who fulfilled your dispositions. All of you get 200 points, except for the 2 of you who fulfilled your dispositions. You get 250.
Do I
Wow,
get anything for killing
300
Barbosa?
XP.
Beautiful.
Do I get anything for killing Barbosa, or do we deal with that next time?
We'll deal with that next time.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's do some shout-outs. Wheat, why don't you go ahead?
All right. Thanks guys for watching. Sorry about the time in between the previous sessions of Dark Heresy. I'm going to be traveling back. I hope everyone has a good holiday season if we don't see you before then. And I'm sure other shows like 8-Bits and whatnot should be resuming next week. So just keep an eye on the Twitters and whatnot. And thanks again, guys. I always love DH. So a pleasure as always.
Awesome. Jeff, some shout-outs.
yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Always have an absolute blast doing this. Hopefully we can do it on a closer to weekly basis, because I think that's it's funny that we've only done 5 weeks, but I feel like so much has been covered. Like, it's actually a relatively new show in terms of how much time spent doing it, but
Yeah.
we've been doing it for half a year, so actually it's not that new. For me personally, I did release, or EG rather released on my behalf, a shirt that I helped design. So if in this Christmas season you're looking to get a gift, or feeling charitable for yourself or whatever, charitable's not the right word, but like if you want to get involved and help out and buy cool stuff for me, check out that shirt. I think the link's around, certainly on my Twitter and stuff like that. It's just on Designed by Humans website, but every portion of that purchase does go to me and allows me to put more roofs over my head and eat more foods and buy more things. So that's what money does. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jeff. TB,
Yes.
some shout-outs.
Thank you, everyone, for watching once again. And a reminder, a couple of events coming up. Most importantly, perhaps, next Saturday, Scarlet vs. Naniwa show match is happening, brought to you by a number of shadowy Bitcoin Illuminati. A lot of ridiculous amount of money on the line for that. Biggest show match in history of anything ever so far.
How much money is it?
Well, right now, let's find out. Let's
think
look
that would
at
entice
Bitcoin
people some
exchange
more.
rate, considering this bloody thing changes by the hour. Let's on Mt. Gox, which is probably the most reliable site for that. Currently, we're looking at $906 per Bitcoin.
Wow.
So, and there's 12 of them. And we've
Jesus.
actually received about 2.5 more in donations to a Bitcoin address publicly. We're currently trying to figure out what to do with that, whether to add it to the show match or to create another show match.
So about
But, yeah.
12,000 on the line, roughly.
Yeah, there's about $12,000 on the line for this one, so it's kind of a big deal. And I'll be casting that one next week, and on Saturday, I believe we're planning, time-wise, to shoot for around 12 p.m. EST, because there is a nation war going on that day as well. the U.S. versus Canada U.S. versus Canada nation war that's going to be happening. That was organized by Suppy and Huck. So, yeah, we're going to be doing all that. It's going to be good. Looking forward to it.
Very cool.
And I'm also going to be on the Giant Bomb morning show, Bombing in the AM, on Monday. So expect to find that. You can watch it on youtube.com/ I think it's The Real Giant Bomb on YouTube, they call it.
Yeah, that's there. Or you just go to giantbomb.com. We'll have a VOD there as well, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Or just on giantbomb.com for that one. And I think at the moment that really is about it. Just usual videos on the Total Halibut channel, and if you missed any of the Shoutcraft America Winter Tournament, all of the VODs are up on youtube.com/TotalBiscuit, which is the same place where the VODs will be for the Scarlet Naniwa match.
Awesome. Steve, go ahead.
Yeah. So if you guys are following JP, then you're basically seeing almost all of what I do online. What with Dark Heresy and R&D, the 2 role-play shows that I'm GMing, which is a blast. I'm absolutely loving both of these. And of course, as many of you know, I'm the lead level designer on Warhammer 40,000 Eternal Crusade, a PvP-based Warhammer 40,000 game where you can play as one of 4 common races. We are releasing a Christmas present, or a holiday present, if you will, to the community probably sometime in the next week or 2. So keep your eye on the Eternal Crusade site. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, go ahead and enroll for the beta and newsletter on the eternalcrusade.com website, and you'll get to see our Christmas present to you all. So thanks for watching, guys. I had a great time with this.
Great stuff, guys. It was a fun week 5. We'll let you know whenever week 6 decides to occur. And until then,
can we make a good effort to make it inside of a month?
We'll try.
I think there's always a good effort to do it every Saturday, and then we'll just see what happens.
It just doesn't happen. That's all. Ever.
So we'll just go from there. We'll go from there.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time here on Dark Heresy. We are out. Have a good night.
Q&A.
Bye.
Oh yeah, Q&A on reddit.com/r/itmeJP. Steven
You bet. I'll have it up in the next couple minutes.
There you go.
Awesome.
I'll link it in the chat if you guys stick around. Anyways, we're out. See you guys later. Bye bye.